The exercise of solidarity within each society is valid when its members recognize one another as persons.
Treat opponents not as persons, but as symbols representing interests or ideas which he believes inimical to the welfare of the people.
After graduation, Alinsky won a graduate fellowship in criminology. He pursued a fieldwork study of street gangs and organized crime, in particular, the criminal empire of the ruthless mob boss, Al Capone. Alinsky met and befriended Frank Nitti. He was the successor of the crime family after Capone went to prison. Alinsky would say, "Nitti took me under his wing. I called him the professor, and I became his student." The mob controlled the Chicago establishment. Alinsky began meeting young criminals and underworld characters and obtaining their life stories. Alinsky's biographer, Sanford Horwit, stated, "Decades later, incidents occurred that suggested Alinsky knew Chicago mobsters in high places, at least that he knew how to get to them." In 1932, Saul Alinsky married Helene Simone, a fellow student at the University of Chicago and a social worker. They would adopt 2 children. During the Depression, Saul and Helene would align themselves with new left-wing liberal or socialist groups in the Democratic Party. Although Alinsky never joined the Communist Party, his Marxism became clearly evident in his friendships and radical political rhetoric, particularly his strong support for the Stalinist effort to help defeat General Franco in the Spanish Civil War.
I knew plenty of communists in those days, and I worked with them on a number of projects. Back in the 30s, the communists did a hell of a lot of good work. Anybody who tells you he was active in progressive causes in those days and never worked with the Reds is a liar. Their platform stood for all the right things, and unlike many liberals, they were willing to put their bodies on the line. We had to start almost from scratch.